Hello, ENG4U. This is Faisal Ahmed, and I am your teacher here in this remote summer school class that we're going to be together in for the next couple of days or weeks. So, as you might notice, I am not actually here today, and this is because I'm dealing with a bit of a family emergency. But fear not, I've got my good friend Miss Lorraine Estejada, who's going to be taking care of the class for me in a sort of caretaker role until I can get back. But fear not, I'm going to be with you guys, and we're going to have a great time here in this class. And I didn't want the class to just start without you guys at least seeing my face and knowing what's what. So let me just use this recording briefly to talk about what's going to be happening in this class, and then I'll turn the rest over to Lorraine and put things in her capable hands. Okay, so let's start things out with the stuff that the principal and the school want me to do, which are these orientation slides. Or maybe before that, I'll just mention, as you all know, this is the Brightspace website. I hope you guys are familiar with Brightspace and have used this thing before, but if you haven't, we'll sort of talk about it more as we go along. But the first thing we got to look at here is what we get here under content. And if you go into course overview plus intro materials, you'll see that I've got these orientation slides here. So let's take a look at what these orientation slides have and talk about sort of the basics of what this course is going to look like. Yeah, like it says, welcome, and this session is recorded by me, I guess I could say. But nevertheless, we are here. This is ENG4U04. The teacher's name is me, Faisal Ahmed, as I mentioned before. And while the slides are, well, what you're looking at right now. Again, you can find a copy of these slides on the Brightspace, no problem, just in the same way that I showed you. So, before I dive into it, I should probably do the land acknowledgement, which is that we and I acknowledge that we are hosted on the lands of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat, and we all should, of course, recognize the enduring presence of all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples here in Canada. So, this is an online course, and you, as the student in that course, have rights, right? So it says here, all summer school students have the right to know how they are assessed and evaluated, be treated equitably by the teacher and all concerned with remote/in-person summer school, and receive timely, effective feedback on assignments and assistance in all academic matters, and expect a safe and supportive environment. So, as your teacher, that is going to be my goal here, right? So summer school is very quick, as you all know, right? You know, like it says in the first slide, right? Today's July 4th, and we're going to be finished on July 28th, right? That is basically the blink of an eye, right? Which is why it will be important for me as your teacher to give you your feedback as soon as possible and to provide assistance to you in any way that I can. My goal as your teacher is going to be getting you through this course, and I will work with you as best as I can to make sure that happens. Now, teachers' expectations of students. So students are expected to, it says here, log in and attend your online Brightspace classroom on Tuesday, July 4th to July 28th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Right, so that is the duration of this course. I'll talk more about the schedule later on, but attendance is expected, right? And you're also expected to attend online, remote/in-person sessions. There are no in-person sessions for us. We're just remote, right? So yeah, you're expected to attend all these remote sessions every weekday. You're expected to comply with the teachers/board rules and expectations. You're expected to be respectful and courteous to the teacher and fellow students. And you're expected to also follow the TDSB policy concerning plagiarism and copyright laws. And, it says here, refrain from the use of inappropriate language or behavior, particularly that which is destructive, profane, harassing, intimidating, hateful, or goes against the TDSB equity policy. So, guys, this is an online course, and, maybe for some of you, spending your time in summer school wasn't your vision of the ideal summer after a long year in school already. But nevertheless, right, we are here together in this summer school class, and we're all going to treat each other in respectful ways, right? I expect, you guys to behave, basically like adults, right? If you want to mess around online, there are other places to do that, right? You can head down to Reddit, you can go to Twitter, all of that stuff, right? But in this classroom on the bright space, let's keep it professional, or maybe not professional, but mature, relatively mature. Anyway, so like it says here, students are required to log in every day from July 4th to 28th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. If you're unable to log into the Zoom session or your online classroom, please contact your teacher as soon as possible. That's me. Attendance is taken every day, and students will start to be demitted for missing sessions. So it says here 2 lates equals 1 absence, and student risk being demitted after 3 absences. Students cannot submit assignments without attending the class each week. So here's what I'm going to say about this. As you all see, I'm not here today, right, because of the family emergency that I am currently dealing with. However, if I am going to be absent from a class, right, I don't just not show up, right? I make sure that I get in touch with, in my case, the principal. I make sure that I got Lorraine here, who's gonna handle my absence and everything like that, right? So I don't just vanish, right, and not show up because I just don't feel like it on certain days, right? You gotta, coordinate with me here, right? Because, if you guys are absent, just sort of randomly, right, because you were up all night on TikTok or, I don't know, playing, some game, Diablo 4, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, something like that, and were like, I stayed up too late, I don't want to wake up for this class, screw it. Then you'll get an absent, and if you are looking at 3 absences, then that's when they'll start thinking about kicking you out, right? So that is something that you got to take into a consideration here. Now, that text in red is also very important. Students cannot submit assignments without attending the class each week, right? So you might think that this is sort of a correspondence course where you can just be like, okay, he'll post the assignments online. I don't got to do this class, right? I can just, chill and, work on it at 7 o'clock every night or something like that. No, you got to come to the actual class and, see what's going on. I've got to see you in this class. I'm going to be trying to interact with you guys as much as I can. So with that in mind, you can't just, treat it as a sort of correspondence course. Okay, let's see what's next. What is the overall breakdown evaluations in my courses for the 2022-2023 summer school year? So the TDSB says there's going to be 70% coursework and 30% culminating, summative/culminating. That's for every course you take in any, subject, right? And I'll talk more about the course breakdown once we get to the course outline. Yeah, so again, the course outline is what I'm going to talk about next. This class is going to go fast, right? So make sure you keep up. Let's see, learning skills. Well, you always see these things on your report cards, and these skills are what is listed here in responsibility, independent work, initiative, organization, collaboration, and self-regulation. The thing is with these learning skills is, they aren't actually attached to your numerical grade at the end, but it's sort of a way for me to tell you how you're doing with, how well you're doing with initiative, right? And how well you're doing in terms of collaborating with your peers and everything like that. These things are honestly more for your parents as much as they are for you, right? It's just sort of a way of seeing where you are at, right? So that's what the learning skills are. So yeah, if you didn't know already and you were wondering what those letters on your report card are, E stands for excellent, G stands for good, S stands for satisfactory, N stands for needs improvement. Well, that's what it's all about. Next slide, academic honesty. So Con Ed students, like it said, are expected to follow the TDSB policy on academic honesty. So be sure you review the TDSP policy on evaluation of missed and late assignments. Basically, guys, if you don't give me an assignment and I don't know why, I'm going to give you a 0. If an assignment is coming in very, very late, right, then I'll honestly be judging it on a case by case basis, right? What I mean by that is that I will be, looking at it and thinking, okay, did this student have a reason for this not to be handed in on time? And what should I do about it from there, right? So don't think that that's due on Monday. I'm gonna just give them to on Wednesday, and there'll be no consequence because there may very well be. We'll also talk a little bit about some of this other stuff that's been sort of popping up now. For now, I'll just say, in terms of academic honesty, your teacher, which is to say me, knows what ChatGPT is, and I will know if you use it. I'll talk more about that when we get to the course outline. Anyway, let's see what else is here. Remote Zoom classroom, that's where you should be right now with Lorraine. Hopefully everyone has managed to get in just fine. The remote Zoom classroom is where we're going to be gathering each day, and as long as you can access it, things should be hunky dory. I will say that I don't believe I have the right to tell you guys you must use your camera, but definitely I will appreciate it, especially when we're talking, if you turn on your camera, right? Because you guys, you students don't really understand how much torturous it is, especially during the pandemic, to be a teacher, just talking to a bunch of black rectangles, right? And don't know who anyone looks like when you're spending all this time teaching, right? So I would appreciate it, you guys using your cameras, at least when you talk, if not always. Anyway, so the link and schedule for Zoom meetings will be provided to students. Yep. So I assume that's how you are here already. If you're listening to my voice and you're here with Lorraine already. So yeah, must attend classes online Monday to Friday. I've already talked about that. And again, you're required to notify your teacher and visit the online classroom if you miss anything. All right. Very good. Brightspace, quick link, and Tor, right? So, again, my assumption is that if you're hearing my voice now, you probably managed to get on to Brightspace. The links here, the desire to learn quick Tor and everything like that, right? They might be useful to you if you've never used this thing before, right? Brightspace is not the most user-friendly website in the world, right? But, nevertheless, the links there should hopefully be of service to you when it comes to, navigating the website, right? And if you have trouble figuring out how Brightspace works, I hope it's no one's first time with Brightspace, but well, if you have trouble with it, right, I encourage you to try the quick tour, right? And, if there are any specific questions, we can answer them as we go along. Yeah. So again, the Brightspace homepage, you will be at your TDSB My homepage where you'll find links. Yeah. So the link to the course should be on your right side, complete with the picture of my cat. So there you go. Anyway, let's keep going here. So the mini bar, yes, that's the thing at the top of the page. Yeah, with alerts directly below the mini bar, you'll find my tools, emailed, calendar, Locker, ePortfolio blog, and Google Drive. Yeah, sure. My resources. The most important thing out of the My Resources thing is going to be the library website because you guys are going to be doing a novel study with me. I'll talk more about how to use that thing properly when we get to that. There's a navigation bar, right? So the most important one is the content one, just because of the way Brightspace is set up. But there's also the discussions tab where you guys can just talk, and you'll be able to see your assignments, your grades in the assignments folder, and the quizzes will be in the quiz folder, right? So that should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, the content is where the actual course, including your assignments, is stored. Your course is organized with table of contents where you will see course units and activities. On the left, there's an expandable course content map in which you have access to your bookmarks, upcoming events, along with course units. So they're talking about this thing, right? So You see a lot of things for me, but I've hidden a lot of the things because they're still sort of under construction, right? But basically, what we are going to be doing in terms of lessons will be posted in here, right? And if I have any other material that I need to share with you guys, you all will find it in the content tab right over here. All right, so that's where you go for sort of daily lessons, assignments, and everything like that. Again, Brightspace is not overwhelmingly user friendly, right? But you'll be able to figure it out. You guys are Zoomers. You should be able to navigate this website, even though it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, the announcements page, I will always post announcements about when meetings are starting and everything like that, right? So the announcements page is just what you find here in the course home, right? So as of this recording, there's only one announcement about welcoming people to ENG4U, but I'll post announcements about things that are happening as we go along. And then the assignments tool, yeah, that's where you upload or hand in your assignments, right? So there isn't much to see there at the moment, but you will do that as we go along. Brightspace assignments, every course has assignments. Yes, okay, we've sort of got that. While others may be the discussion boards, yeah. Okay, let's not worry about that. So student support contact information. I don't have the contact information for guidance as of yet, right? So if you need to talk to guidance or student success, hopefully they will announce who those guidance counselors are soon. And if they have already after this recording, then I will post those on the website for sure. But the big thing is, if you have technical difficulties with Brightspace, if it's like, hey, I don't know how to hand an assignment or anything like that, this is the contact information for figuring that stuff out. 1-800-222-0209, that's their technical support line, or you can just email helpdesk@d2l.com and hopefully they'll sort you out, right? I will also try to do technical support stuff on those days if there's some sort of problem with you handing stuff in, but hopefully there won't be. Hopefully you guys all know all this stuff already. Anyway, last thing in these orientation slides that I got to go through here is the important dates, right? So our start date, yes, is July 4th, right? 2023, which is today, at least today for you guys. I'm recording this before. Midterm mark distribution is going to be July 17th, 2023. So this is what I mean, guys. That's pretty fast, right? That's, what is that, 13 days from now, right, is your midterm, right? That's pretty quick. Course withdrawals, full disclosure / marks maintain date, July 21st, 2023. So you might know that better as the drop date. That is the day that you have to decide whether you're going to stay in this class or not. So this is, of course, ENG4U, and as I hope most of you know, this is a course that all the universities, no matter which program you're thinking of joining, will look at. So, please, bear that in mind, right? I hope that most people in here have come here because they want to get a very strong grade, right? Because they need that grade for their applications, for their, their applications to the universities, whether you're applying next November or you've already applied. Well, actually, I don't think you would have already applied. But regardless, I know you guys want strong grades, right? So I hope you do get those strong grades. But if things do go south, then you should keep that July 21st date in mind. Your course culminating / exams are going to be on July 26th. There are no exams in this class, right? I don't think there's really a way for us to do exams properly here. That's what we're going to do instead is there's going to be a sort of large-scale novel study. I'll talk about that more in a second, right? But your culminating project is going to be due on July 26th. Marks will be verified on July 27th, and your final day, the last day of our school, is going to be on July 28th, right? So again, that's not too much, right? It's less than 4 weeks, which is why, this course is going to, again, be very fast-paced. So, Again, this is all information that the school wanted me to tell you, so I have now told you. But if there's any questions you have, you can feel free. Well, you can ask Lorraine first of all, right? Although Lorraine is a supply teacher here, so she might not have every answer about administrative stuff. So you might want to take a look at the student handbook, right? Which it's in the slides, but you know what? I'll add a link to that to the content page here, just so it's easier to find, right? But the student handbook tells you about, all of the sort of nitty gritty of this stuff that I've been going through over in the slides. So, with all that in mind, I think we're finished with our basic orientation. Okay. Wow, this is already almost 20 minutes, so let me go ahead and end this particular video, and I'll talk about the course outline in the next video. So, Lorraine, if you want to have the students ask questions or take attendance or do anything like that, go ahead right now, and then we can play the next video.